Da, seneta. Die Cowboy en al.
Walioko sasa, waheshimiwa watarajiwa na waumini ambao wamefika kuja katika hafla hii ya ukumbusho wa miaka 30 tangu. Yes. Afisa wa usalama kutoka kaunti, tafadhali tusonge pale nyuma tafadhali.
Second reading.
The second reading. The second reading comes from the book of John, chapter 15, from verse 9 to 27, and it says, "As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit and bear fruit, fruit that will last. And so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give you. This is my command: love each other. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. Remember what I told you. A servant is not greater than his master. If they persecute me, they will persecute you also. If they obey my teaching, they will obey yours also. They will treat you this way because of my name, for they did not know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father as well. If I had not done a sin, and they have hated both me and my Father. But who God of the Lord.
To God. To call one of the family members who is going to read for us the Thanksgiving tribute. One of the family members was to do the Thanksgiving tribute. Welcome.
Thanksgiving tribute, autobiography. Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. It is painfully truth, but it is a truth we shall prefer to deny on a daily basis. This is, as William Shakespeare said, from hour to hour we wrote and wrote as we all approach our graves. When the moment actually arrives, it's always painful, though somehow inevitable. It is always untimely, however old we may be. Jaramogi Oginga Ajuma Odinga, on such a day, 30 years ago today, reached that moment when he went home to be with the Lord. He was eulogized, one of the Kenya's greatest nationalists. Throughout his life, Jaramogi remained a voice of reason, standing taller than his compatriots in reputation, performance, and respect. Unlike Shakespeare, the good people do lives after them, and the bad is often interred with their body. Jaramogi was a good man. He was a principled man. He was a courageous man. He did and said what he believed in. He uplifted the afflicted. All his life, he was concerned about injustice and unfairness in society. He devoted his entire life fighting for justice. Jaramogi was never a tribalist. He fought against negative ethnicity by championing the fight against poverty and liberation of all victims across Kenya. His politics was driven by ideology. For all Kenya politicians, Odinga was the most committed, the notion the first president, changing him for presidency. Jaramogi qualified for the second presidency in Kenya, not because he was a Luo, but because he was nationally. While he always courage the promised land, and at the time of Kenyatta's death, no other Kenyan qualified more than becoming the second president of Kenya. We commemorate Jaramogi, the Kenyan president, who never was. He never ruled, but he reigned. Long live Jaramogi, long live our liberator.
Thank you. We want to welcome speeches, and at this time we are going to call Mama Betty Oginga, which will be followed by Mama Susan.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. I want to thank you very much for attending this occasion. I'm called Betty Oginga. I'm the last wife of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. I don't say I was the last. I am the last because he's still living with us. And we as Africans, we believe that his spirit is hovering around us. And we want to thank God for the life that he led. We know he left us 30 years ago, but it's just like the other day. To us, he's still living. You come to Nyamira, you will always ask that he was not natural. He used to tell us that he goes to heaven through Holo. And I believe he went to heaven, and that is why we are still alive. Even though we have lost some of our members in the that he used to have when he went to church, he used to have the Holy Communion, whereas the Anglican Church did not allow the polygamous to, but he used to get, there is to sing that song. Her to go back to school immediately. He was given the money. When I came back for lunch, she was crying. She told me, you know, now my father wants me to go back. I told her, you take your arm and dip it in water so that you may not go, you will go tomorrow. When I came, they asked me, what is that girl still doing there? But remember, he had sent somebody to go for canes. Very big ones. He wanted to beat me. Now, when I went at 4, he told me that today you will feel the wrath. I must cane you. Why don't you allow the girl to go to school? Luckily enough, it was late at night when our governor came and took him. He went outside the country. He stayed there for almost 1 month. Immediately he came. I thought that that was a gone case. The first thing he told me that today, it is today. Have you lost my canes? I told him, no. You know, ukekomolo. Why? I was lucky. I was not caned. But that means that he was very strict. He loved education. We used to say with so many people, if we get a desperate child, you could there is in your house, or a girl, take her to school. We so many. Now, when we asked him, he said that, you know, in this world, God created a human being in a different way. The mouth he uses to eat is the same mouth that he uses to say no, he never eats in your house. So be ready for those things. He made us very strong. And I want to thank God for his life. I thank everything with us, and I pray standing with his children, because that is what he fought for, and he died fighting for it. Ago erokamano kabisa ni joga ni pirade
Kendo Jaramogi nokendo kapod watindo. Kunde kapod watindo gi nyako ni.
Nyaka sana.
Koso kunde. Omiyo waduok nwero kamano mar odiochieng' ma kawuono mar bedo kawuono kuom 30 years ma Jaramogi osetieko lowo. Onge gima ang' na wach maduong' ahinya, dwoko ni mana wede Jaramogi mobiro konyowa